It's nice to be here. I hope you all had a great lunch. It's amazing. We wait until the sun comes out, and then we all rush inside, right? That makes a lot of sense here. It's pretty interesting to be here because this is actually sort of my daily shot of kismet, I suppose, or happenstance, because a few weeks ago, when I told the conference organizers what I would be talking about and told them that my speech was entitled Beyond the Sandwich, I had no idea that I would be speaking so soon after lunch. Well, let's get this thing started here so I can speak properly. So we're here today to discuss how real-time technology is changing business, government, media, education, practically everything. But I want to talk specifically about one dramatic event that occurred on February 10th of this year. On that day, it was a Thursday, the world was shocked by a happening that we can hope never occurs again. News of this event blasted across the internet. There were incredulous posts on Facebook. People were thumbing out like crazy tweets on Twitter. Breaking news on CNN and global reporting covered the airwaves. The event unfolded and the momentum grew and grew and grew. And one thing was sure, the world was never going to be the same. What event was it that garnered 145 million views on YouTube? It generated a following of 250,000 people on Twitter. That's not tweets, that's 250,000 people. I have no idea how many tweets it must have generated. I suppose the events that pop to mind might be, there's sadly an endless list, but the earthquake in Haiti. That's an ongoing disaster. It's been 16 months now and practically forgotten by the media and by many of us, the public. Perhaps it was the earthquake in New Zealand or the horrendous Japanese trifecta, an earthquake, a tsunami, and a nuclear disaster all rolled into one, which will go down as the costliest disaster in human history. Well, it couldn't have been the the demise of Osama bin Laden. That was too recent. It's not the arrest of IMF chief Dominique Strauss-Kahn on rape charges. And surely it's not the fact that the Terminator was impregnating housekeepers behind his wife's back. So I did some research on this event, and I discovered that if I added together all of the views on YouTube, the most popular ones, for all of those other disasters and events that occurred, if I added those all together, I came up with a staggering 24,726,000 views. That's a huge number, but it represents 18% of the views that I'm talking about. Hundreds of thousands of people died in all those events. People's lives were changed forever. But for some reason, February 10th was a little more important. So what is this event that caused such havoc? It was, of course, the uncaging onto the world of unknown teen sensation Rebecca Black and her video, the diabolical video Friday. If you haven't seen it, don't. Now, don't get me wrong. I congratulate, I respect Ms. Black and her parents. They invested $4,000, and they are now watching their ROI come in exponentially. At this point, the revenues for iTunes downloads and a percentage cut of in-video advertising is pushing well past $2 million. That's a nice investment. $4,000 3 months ago, $2 million today. Not bad. But I do wonder, now that the consumer has quietly stolen this mantle of content creator from the big boys, the news stations, the film studios, the ad agencies, similar to how Prometheus took fire from Zeus and gave it to mankind. What are we, as newly appointed content creators, going to do with this immense power? When Facebook and Twitter first came on the scene, it was clear there was power to be had. The world would now know what I was up to. And I didn't need to be sitting at my desk typing into the computer. I could tweet from the summit of Mount Hood. I could tweet from some questionable, horrible little cafe in southern Ukraine. I did that. I could keep people informed of my every move. And more importantly, they would be interested. And now we have Foursquare. Now, I personally don't see the value of this myself, but the content creators of the new world can now tell people that they have checked into the Sizzler and they're enjoying a ham sandwich. Boy, that's important. Did I mention that 100,000 people died in the Haitian earthquake? A little more important. The great and powerful Woz, Steve Wozniak, the engineering brain behind the founding of Apple, and a man who I've always admired, is now stooping so low as to tweet his every meal. On Saturday, did you know he was at the IHOP enjoying some pancakes? Did you care? Sort of makes you wonder if IHOP and Steve Jobs have gotten together on the naming there. Now, of course, it's juvenile to state that the internet is a wonderful, powerful tool. It levels the playground and allows everyone with access to move from bystander to content creator. We know that. It's obvious. The power is there. The question is, what will you do with it? I personally would like to think that we can make Sir Tim Berners-Lee proud. Sir Tim is the man known to be the inventor of the modern internet. Insert your own Al Gore joke there. You would imagine Sir Tim would be excited by all this happening with social media on his World Wide Web. Yet he considers Twitter and Facebook to be two prominent threats to the web. Why threats? One reason. He's worried about the quality of the content that's being posted. Let's not waste this resource, this Promethean fire. Let's show the gods we deserve the power the internet gives us. Let's start creating content that moves beyond the ham sandwich and reports to the world who we really are and what we really care about. Social media is a powerful tool that can, as we've seen recently with the direct reports from the Arab Spring uprisings, it can be put to good use. But we don't want to stop at 140 characters. The world is much deeper than 140 characters, and so is every one of you. I'm asking you to use your talents as content creators to dig deep into your emotions, your knowledge, your beliefs, your feelings, and let the rest of us know who you really are. Let me close by quoting Steven Rosenbaum. He's an author who wrote an excellent book. It's called Curation Nation. I recommend it to everyone. And in this book, Rosenbaum wrote, "We are overwhelmed by too much content, yet we remain hungry for an experience that takes advantage of the web's breadth and depth. With social media, you can become a trusted source of value in an otherwise meaningless chaos of digital noise." Thanks very much. Thanks for your ears.